Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. Good morning. We are continuing Mishnah Yomi with Terumot, the third parak, the eighth Mishnah. Hamitkaven, someone who intends lomar truma, to say truma. He's pointing at his pile of produce, and he's about to separate the truma, and he intends to say the word truma of Amar Meiser. The wrong word comes out. He says Meiser instead of truma. Or Maaser v'amar truma. He's pointing at the pile and he's intending to separate where the Meiser is, to designate verbally where the Meiser is, and he says truma instead by mistake. Or he's pointing at an animal that's fit to be a carbon in the Beis Hamikdash, b'mheir v'imenu, and the ola v'amar shlamim. He wanted to make an ola and he says shlamim, or shlamim v'amar ola, or vice versa. A shlamim, a peace offering, and he says an ola, an elevation offering. She'enu nichnas l'bayit zeh, and he's about to make a neder, and he's making a neder not to go into a certain house. Now maybe it's a house of ill repute, or maybe it's a house where someone lives there that he knows is a bad influence on him. And so he's about to make a neder on this house, Amar Lazay, and he points to the wrong house, or he says to the wrong house, the wrong address, or the wrong whatever it is. Or a similar neder, She'enu nehene Lazay, Amar Lazay, where he wants to make a neder hana, and this is the nuclear neder. If someone can't get hana from another person, it's like cutting them out of their life, and this was really, the Gemara says, please don't make nedarim, please don't play games with this stuff, but this was the nuclear neder option, where somebody was really a bad influence on Reuven. So Reuven says, I'm not going to have any benefit from him, meaning I can't speak with him, can't do business with him, can't have any benefit from his property, can't eat his food, things like this. They're really, really cutting him out. The guy must have been a really bad influence. But he makes a mistake, and he says, Lazay, Vamar Lazay, says the wrong person. The Mishnah rules in all of these cases, lo amar klum. It's not valid. His mistake doesn't change reality. It doesn't change the neder, it doesn't make the kodshim, it doesn't make the truma meiser. Ad sheyihu piv v'livo shavin. It's an amazing concept, until his mouth and his heart are in alignment, are equal. So the Bartner explains, this is a din zaraisa. So the Bartner brings psukim to back up this Mishnah. Dichsiv motze sfatecha tishmor. What comes out of your mouth, you keep. So that implies whatever words he said, even if there was a bit of a mistake, you have to do it. Uchsiv, but it also says nediv lev, somebody who donates from his heart. So that means the heart is in charge, and the heart often in psukim means the mind, the thought, or the intention. HaKetzad, how could this be? Be'inan gomer belibo motzi b'sfotav. So what is required is he decides in his heart, in his intention, motzi b'sfotecha, and then it comes out of his lips like his intention. That's when it's binding. Now there is an interesting wrinkle, because truma, there's a pasuk by truma that says nechshav lachem truma, and that's even machshava, that's even thought. So it sounds like people could designate truma even with thoughts, but these other things, these nedarim and kodshim, they have to mamish be spoken out of the lips. Motzis fatecha tishmor. Good. Mishnah tes ha'ovid kochavim ve'kuti, an idolater or a Kuthian, a Samaritan. And recall, we've spoken about them in the past. They were sort of a suffix status for a long time because they converted, but that was because lions were eating them. And then they were meticulous on some mitzvot, especially deraita, scriptural mitzvot, but did not keep all the derabbanans. They were not careful about lifnei iver lo ditin michshol. They said that means putting a rock, mamish, literally a rock, not figuratively a rock. And eventually we found out that a lot of them were worshiping a dove idol on Har Grizim. So, right, not the good Samaritans. So what about those guys? Trumat and truma. They can make a truma. Maisote and meiser, and they can make a meiser. Now, the Bartner brings it, you can't make them a shliach. We've learned before, you can't send these people as a shliach to take truma from your things. We're talking about from their crops in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, they can make truma and meiser. The hekdesh and hekdesh, and they can make kodshim. Remember, it says by the Beis Hamikdash, Beis Tefillah Kol Amim. They can come and they can not only daven, but they can send korbanos to the Beis Hamikdash. That was the whole shtick with the leading up to the Churban Abayis, when the Romans sent a korban, and he put a mum in it, but they didn't think it was a mum, but we knew it was a mum. It was a whole issue, so we didn't bring the Romans korban anyway. Rabbi Yehuda Omer ein la'ovet kochavim kem revai. Rabbi Yehuda says they don't have kerem revai, meaning the fourth year produce of the vineyard. They are exempted from that. Chachamim omrim yeshlo, but the other sages say no, he has. Now this is an Eretz Yisrael. He has. In Eretz Yisrael, he's chayiv to do this. True. Apparently, he can donate this. He's not necessarily chayiv, but he can donate this. Trumat ha'ovet kochavim, a truma made by a non-Jew, midamat. It makes dimua. It's mamish truma. V'chayiv malei a chomesh, and a non-Kohen, a zar who eats it, has to pay back a chomesh penalty to the Kohanim. Rishimon Poter. Rishimon says no, he doesn't have to make the fifth. He does agree it's meduma. According to Rabbi Shimon, it is truma derabanan, not deraisa. And on a truma derabanan, Rabbi Shimon says we don't have a fifth, we don't have a chomesh, but we do make it demua on a derabanan level, so people do take it seriously if the idolater took truma from his produce in Eretz Yisrael. Shkoyach, have a great day.